I'm going to take this off. Can you hear me back there? Okay, great. How's everybody tonight?
Good.
My name is Joe Garrett, and I know many of you who know me probably are thinking tonight, what in the heck is this guy doing at a place like this? Because of those of you who don't know me, I am a graduate of the University of Georgia. I've learned two things in life, and one thing is what happened last year. Never ever do this again, is ever bet a Baptist preacher on a Georgia-Alabama game. And that's exactly what I did with Steve Davis. And so the next thing you know is when you lose a bet, what do you got to do? Well, you got to come up and introduce Eli Gold in front of 100+ people who are shouting Crimson Tide and Roll Tide. So anyway, that's one reason I'm here tonight. And the other reason I am here tonight is that just this past weekend, my wife's cousin got married in Athens. And so my family, of course, we spent the night overnight Saturday. And so early Sunday morning, I got up and went for a walk through the University of Georgia. And I'm walking along, and all of a sudden, I'm at Sanford Stadium. And lo and behold, there was a door open. I walked in and had my morning cup of coffee right there in Sanford Stadium, sitting there alone. And it made me think, like, it was kind of creepy for a minute, because the last time I was sitting alone in Sanford Stadium was last fall in the fourth quarter when it was pouring down rain, and Alabama was truly... Thankfully, we got your defensive coordinator as our head coach, so I'm excited about that. So we stole him, as Cecil is yelling at me right now about that. But while I was there, it was kind of weird. You know, when you're at a big stadium like that and you're by yourself, you probably have heard of things like, you remember when I know you've all heard the biblical story of when, the burning Moses, and here's the burning bush, or there's the 10 Commandments, and then, lo and behold, I'm driving home, and there we are passing Conyers. And I remember that lady who used to see Mother Mary and have the visions, and people would come from all over to hear what she had to say. All of a sudden, things got really quiet in Sanford Stadium, and I was visited by the ghost of Larry Munson. As many of you know, Larry was the longtime announcer, play-by-play announcer for the University of Georgia. And the ghost said to me, "Go forth, and I have a message to deliver to the West Georgia Alabama Club." And I thought, no way, Larry, are you serious? And then he handed me this piece of paper, and he said, "Yeah, I've got something, I really want you to say to these people." And I said, "Gosh, I don't know if I can do this." He said, "Just say the word hunker down 3 times, and my voice will come through." So here we go, Larry. I hope you're right. Hunker down, hunker down, hunker down. My fellow enemies across the state line, I realize as I communicate this message to you, I have no chance. I'm outnumbered and you're all too big. Can you imagine what's going to happen to me when I leave this place tonight, where all those dog people are wondering, "Larry, have you lost your mind?" But I say to you again, I have no chance. So in this world of chaos, hatred, and division, I come to you tonight in peace. And I have a special message to you as I speak through that Garrett kid. Just like the Lord handed Moses those commandments, I have done the same for the Bulldog Nation. And now sit back and get the picture as I now deliver to you the 10 Commandments for a Georgia Bulldog fan to follow when in the presence of the Crimson Tide. Commandment number 1. Thou shalt not take the name of Bear Bryant in vain. Commandment number 2. Thou shalt always destroy Auburn and step on their face with a hobnail boot, break their nose and crush their face. Thou shalt always stop and eat a rack of ribs at Dreamland Barbecue when visiting Tuscaloosa. My God, I've never had a barbecue experience like that place over there. And they even serve those ribs with a loaf of white bread. Commandment number 4. thou shalt feel free to ask any Alabama alumni. What the hell was Harvey Updike Jr., also known as Al from Dadeville, thinking when he ratted himself out on that Feinbaum show for poisoning those trees in Auburn? Number 5, thou shalt ask if anybody around here, does anybody have an old copy of that movie, The Bear, starring Gary Busey? I can't find a thing anywhere. All right, we'll hook up later. Number 6, thou shalt feel free to call any Auburn fan a sissy. And by the way, it's okay to still think that Cam Newton and his daddy still belong in the Coweta County Jail. Number 7, thou shalt now never ever follow Coach Mike Price to a strip club, no matter who's taking their clothes off. Number 8, Cecil, this one's for you. You're probably the only one who'll get this. Thou shalt never invite Furman Bisher to Thanksgiving dinner because no matter what they say, Wally Butch and Bear Bryant did not throw that game. Finally, number 9, thou shalt feel free to tell as many Auburn jokes as necessary. By the way, did you hear the one about why Auburn fans refuse to ever call 911 when it's an emergency? They can't find 11 on the phone dial. All right, one more. Did you hear about the Auburn Tiger fan who tried to blow up the opponent's team bus? He burned his lip on the tailpipe. And number 10, thou shalt introduce to you one of the greatest announcers in the history of SEC football. Since 1988, he has been the voice of the Crimson Tide. He's one of my folks, and I know you remember me from my days, and we're glad to have you here, Eli Gold. If there's ever a Mount Rushmore of SEC announcers, I think we all can agree Eli Gold's face belongs on that. And let's give a big round of applause for the one and only Eli Gold.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Sit, relax. The one thing he left out, and that was a great present.